It is 3 in the morning here in Mexico City. Today is now April 21st. And about an hour or two ago, we saw on the headlines that the Pope has been declared dead. Although this is a very trying time for people of all faiths, I just want to say the following to anyone who is a believer or follows that doctrine, Christianity or Catholicism. Make sure if this death is impacting you a lot, make sure to surround yourself by loved ones and people that you support, care for, that can help you out. What I wanted to do with this video, and I'm not gonna do any editing, I'm just gonna record it and post it. It's more for timekeeping perspectives or seeing what the future comes out of. Obviously, right now the US is in turmoil with the presidency and everyone has their feelings on that. We're not gonna talk politics because no point. But I have a theory that I was reading online, so it's not only me, but as people will find out, Vice President J.D. Vance recently visited the Pope hours before his untimely passing. And the Pope was a very outspoken man against the Trump presidency. Didn't seem to favor a lot of what was going on. And so then I just think it's interesting that powerful person who controls billions of lives, the Pope, is standing up against something, right? Vice President for said presidency, who is obviously in favor of it, goes and says, hey, let's talk. After that, a couple hours later, Pope dies. I am not alluding that anything happened, but the possibility of it is a thing. So here's a question I want you guys to think. Could the US government, I'm not gonna say parties or who because I obviously don't know, but could someone in the US government have plotted to infect or take out the Pope, a very powerful influencer, if you will, of billions of souls, to then, by taking him out, they put someone else in charge, either someone who follows their agenda, or if the U.S. government is following someone else's agenda, Israel or someone else, Illuminati, whatever, could the U.S. government have had anything to do with the Pope's death? I don't know. Speculation, total theories. But just think about it. Again, this is not a video demonizing religion or demonizing a government party. We're not here to debate that. It's just a simple, could it have happened? Now, I know this sounds like one of those the people that believe like this, Sasquatch or all that stuff. I'm not really one of those people. I don't really care, to be honest. I was just wondering, what do you guys think? I don't really know who to talk to about like random thoughts that pop into my head. And maybe I'll delete this video. I'm not trying to get anything from it. I just wanted to get some ideas. So that's my question. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this had any possibility, whether it was the US government or some other force, that since he didn't want to play ball, they removed the player and they're maybe going to put someone else in? Now, obvious, answers. The Pope was old. He was 88 years old. He has a medical history of many different sicknesses, infections, diseases. So I'm not saying he was super healthy and out of nowhere he just collapsed. Obviously not. So spare me all of that obvious facts. It's just a hypothetical question. Now, who else do you think would come in power? So saying that, he's passed, right? what type of pope do you think they're gonna put in to power? I have a theory, which is also substantially like a correction. It's just a theory. I have a theory that they're going to try to put a person who on the outside looks very I don't want to use the word woke, but someone that maybe fits the current socially accepted trends. Could be a person of color, a person on the spectrum of either LGBTQIA or autism spectrum, that type of spectrum. I don't know. But I think it's someone that they are going to try to control, right? So I think, so again, a lot of I thinks, because this is just my own thoughts, and I might delete this, I don't know. As I record this, I might delete this. But I just think it's someone that they basically need puppets, you know? We all know that almost every government, not just the US, but almost every government has had a puppet at one point or another, because the real people in power don't want to lose that power, and they want to keep it the way it's been for them. And yeah, so I don't know. Obviously the whole conclave process is a very ritualistic practice, and it's so funny that there's a movie called Conclave that just came out in this year, you know, that walks you through that process. And I've always had this theory that movies are kind of predicting the future, and sometimes the crazier ones are just what it's the government or the people who are allowing the movies to be made. They're testing what would happen if we make a movie about this, and how would people react and all that stuff. And I know this sounds very far-fetched, but think about it. There were movies about viruses and outbreaks when we had the pandemic. There were movies about terrorism. There were movies about all kinds of stuff. And then sooner or later, it kind of slowly started happening. Obviously not exactly the same way, but and all that. I recently saw a theory that, you know, Star Wars, the rise of Palpatine, how he became and did all this other stuff, is a very mirrored rise to the current US government, or the bad guy from World War II. So again, this is one of those like really random speculation videos that I just wanted to put out, just to put it out. But let me know down your below if you want to even comment. If not, you don't have to. And again, this is not to target or incite any form of hatred or fighting. It's just a theory, just talking about stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys on a regularly scheduled content. But thank you for my rambling. Have a good night.